I'm aware that my heart hurts, because I hope you don't have to do anything about it. What do you mean? Be aware that your heart hurts. Don't worry. It'll take a little time to work through the jealousy or the insecurity or the mourning because somebody died or somebody left you. That's how it is. You've got a human heart, don't you? You've got a human heart. It has human feelings, has human reactions, and you have a human mind. Have you ever noticed that the mind and the heart are in cahoots with each other? That's called witness consciousness. You're always aware. The trouble is you can't handle what you're aware of. How's that? I'm going to talk tough to you. Can you handle this stuff? And the answer is no. Can you handle that goes on inside of you? That's why it pulls you into it. Because to you, that's a big deal that it says, I can't believe my parents got divorced. It's always bothered me. You're 75 years old. They got divorced when you were 6. No, I'm going on a blog for everyone whose parents got divorced and they're over 70 years old. So it's a blog out there, I guarantee you. Okay, go, do it. Doesn't mean that from a psychological point of view, that if you suppress things, it's not good to talk about them. Because it is. I'm not taking any of that away. I just want you to be able to come to some place where the highest truth is talked to you, which is you're the highest being walked the face of the earth. You're in a state of joy and ecstasy and love all the time from inside. Why don't I know that? Because you're being pulled down into the garbage. If you suppress stuff in the past, and you all did, we all did, if you suppress stuff, it's still in there. And the stuff you tend to suppress is not the nice stuff, by the way. It's the stuff that hurt. It's the stuff that bothered you. And so you sit there and you push it down. The new book really goes into that, Living Untethered. When you push it down, it's like pushing against a balloon. You push it down, it's going to want to come back up. Or trying to push something down in water. Take a balloon and push it down in water. What's going to happen? You're going to try and come back up. That stuff you push down is always trying to come back up. You have to handle things. You can't push them down because they're going to keep trying to come back up. But we've always pushed them down, haven't we? Every single thing, every day we push stuff down. That's why we can't let go. That's why we get pulled down in there, because we're struggling in there, fighting with all the stuff we stored in there. So basically, as long as that's happening, your stuff's going to get hit and you're going to get pulled down into it because you can't handle it. So real quick, I'll give you the highest technique. Ready? Oh, I've never said this before. I told you I don't like to give techniques. I guarantee this technique will work every single time. You will become totally liberated and everything. You ready? Here's the technique. Handle it. It's only a little funny because it's true. If the problem is that you can't handle it and you shove it down there, and therefore it makes your mind sick and it makes your heart sick and you become sensitive and scared and insecure and everything has to be exactly the way you want for you to be okay, the answer is don't store that stuff down there. If you don't store the stuff down there, it's not going to have that power to pull you into it. Can you not store the stuff down there? Yes. Yes, you can. And the new book goes right down head first into that stuff. How do you not store the stuff down there? Don't start by trying to deal with the stuff that's already down there. That's way too hard. It's like saying, I'm going to play the piano, I'm going to play, Beethoven first, but I never touch the keyboard. No, you're not. You're going to do scales first, aren't you? So basically, you come down and you understand. You start with what I call the low-hanging fruit, the simple little things that happen all day that bother you. Have you noticed things bother you during the day? It's just like, wow, they bother you. The driver in front of you, it's too hot, it's too cold. Oh my God, I got some ketchup on my pants, I got to go to work, and my hair is frizzy. Just anything. It all bothers you, doesn't it? My car seems to make a little squeak. What's that all about? I don't have any money. What am I going to do? Okay? We get bothered a lot during the day. The driver's driving slow in front of you, or he didn't use his blinker. That doesn't bother you. You're bothering yourself about it. That's where you start your spiritual journey. How do you like that? It's easier than asanas, easier than meditation, easier than reading all kinds of books forward and backwards. Just, that's what I want you to do. I want you to go through the day without bothering yourself about things that have no meaning, and you're going to find out your whole life changes. Because then what you're saying is, I understand that the reason I have a mess inside that keeps pulling me into it is because I stored things I couldn't handle. So let me at least start by not putting more in there. You can do it, can't you? Make it a game. It's a video game. Can I go through the day without bothering myself? You try. You start. That's a spiritual practice. How do you like that? It's a spiritual practice. When you're doing an asana and it's tense, what does the teacher tell you to do? Relax through it. Relax into it. Relax through it. That's what I'm telling you to do with this stuff inside. Just relax. Just keep relaxing, so that you're not pushing it down anymore. I'm so much happier. I stopped bothering myself about everything, and I'm not so bothered anymore. And so you start doing that, and then all of a sudden what's going to happen is something bigger will come up that you used to really get upset about. And now you look at it and you say, I don't have to get upset about that. It happened 5 years ago. Why am I getting upset about it now? And you work with yourself to let it go. That's called letting go. I can handle this. That's your mantra. I can handle this. I can handle this. I can handle this. And you just start working on yourself. Keep letting go. And you're going to start to feel joy. You're going to start to feel for no reason. You just feel some joy coming up inside of you. Spontaneous joy. And you realize that's what we're talking about. If you don't get pulled down into the garbage, you get to float back into the ecstasy. And more, that's where you get your joy. Who said that to you? Christ. Man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that leaveth the mouth of God. That energy inside is divine spiritual light of energy. And so as you let go of getting pulled down into your stuff, you float back into your higher self. And more, it just happens. It happens I want every day to be your spiritual practice. If you will do this, I guarantee your whole life will change. Doesn't mean you don't get married. Sure, life unfolds. You dance with it. But in here, you're letting go. You're just realizing, I'm in here, and I am capable of feeling joy all the time, love all the time, inspiration all the time. You'll find out you're smarter than you thought you were. Take your SATs again when you don't have all that stuff going on inside of you. If you straighten this stuff up, you're going to find out you're smarter, your memory works better. You're a great being. And that means you, not some you haven't found yet. You who's looking out through those eyes, you who's feeling the heart, you who's noticing the thoughts. You're a great being. The trouble is you get pulled down into this lower stuff. Learn to handle life. Learn to handle situations. Learn to not suppress things. Learn to release them when they come back up. If you can do this, you're going to elevate yourself to a beautiful level until eventually, I'm telling you, you will feel ecstasy. You will feel joy welling up inside of you. You are a great being. Everything will open. All the centers will open. You'll become a being of energy, a being of light. How? By letting go of staring at what's not a being of energy. All right. Boy, if you understand these things, I did my job. I'm seriously. Not that you can do them, you won't do them tomorrow. You work on it. It's the work of a lifetime to reach these very high states. And by the way, you don't just benefit yourself. And all that good, beautiful love energy is pouring. Be that. Be that. Be a great being. Raise yourself. Work on this. Jagrata.